Welcome to the Grown Up Show, everyone. We're being a grown up as always, up for debate. My name is Danny Barros, alongside my longtime buddy Anthony Hall.
What's up?
Not much, man. We're back with episode 18. Keep on rolling here, dude.
Yeah, dude, we're almost at 20. That's kind of cool. It's kind of
I
cool to
know.
think of.
Coming at you on a Friday night for once. Getting a little delay of the week started, but hey, that's all right. Friday night means we get to have a little bit more fun, maybe. Who knows? I mean, I'm ready for a Friday night. I'm ready to crack this beer right now.
I'm ready to go right now. I've had like the
Beautiful.
worst week, just super busy. So beer first. I'm down.
Go for it, man. You start us off.
So look. Okay, I'm gonna just start out straight out the gate. Okay.
Okay.
It's a sour.
That's all right.
Don't judge or whatever. I mean, technically, it's not called a sour, but when you know what it is, it's basically a sour. So I'm going with another Great Notion Brewing Company beer, one of my favorites, as we were starting to know here. This is Luminous 3. It's a tart Indian pale ale with strawberry and vanilla.
Tart. Nice.
So it's a fruity beer. And you know what? I don't care. I need this. I'm like trying to get healthier, riding the shit out of the Peloton, trying to stay away from candy. So this is the closest thing to candy I'm going to have this week. I'm going for it.
Nice.
Oh, I haven't had dinner in a while, man. Here, let's do it. Let's do it the right way.
Oh. Nice.
What's the foam all over it? Oh, let me see.
What's the specs on that beer?
This is that one that's really dark. Oh, they lightened it up here. Look, it's not that dark purple this time. It's like a red. I can read it. 5.75 alcohol, and it's not giving me the IBUs. A little on the lighter side, but that's okay.
Nice.
Let's try. I don't think I've had this one. I've had another one of their fruitier beers that was pretty good. I'm sure this will be good. It's interesting. I think the vanilla's throwing me off.
Crazy, man.
That's weird. That aftertaste is weird.
It's sweet.
Confusing.
Well, it's definitely not going to be like, a super hop forward, beer.
Dude, it's got like that. Like you've had that. Like strawberry is kind of popular in beers nowadays a little bit. I feel like you see it more and more. Yeah. It's got like that little like sweet bite to it.
Yeah.
It's like that's like there, but the vanilla is like covering it up to where it's off. It's good. I'm gonna drink
about
it.
That beer? Did your brother-in-law give that beer to you? Is that one of the ones he's like, here, Anthony, try this one, dude?
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, he bought a 4-pack for my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law is like a Coors Light, and that's it.
Oh yeah.
But she's been exploring a little bit, and it's been funny to watch. And I was just like, "You gonna drink all those?" And she's like, "You want one?" I was like, "I mean, if you're gonna give me one, but." Yeah. It's just unique. I mean, it's definitely for a certain person. I'm gonna drink it because I don't let alcohol go to waste. But it's gonna be my last one.
That's why we love you, man.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, dude. Awesome. This is weird. I can't tell if I like it or not. I hate beers like that.
Scale of 1 to 10. What do you got? Like a 5?
Question mark? Yeah, I'm gonna go 5. The more I drink, I might decide to change that. We'll see.
Nice. Okay. All right.
It smells good.
Fair. Maybe when you're 3/4 of the way done and your palate's already ruined, you might be like, yeah, it's not that bad.
Yeah, exactly. What do you got, dude?
I'm rocking with it. Actually, like I tried this one the other night for the first time and really, really liked it. Revision Brewing Company out of Sparks, Nevada. One of the killers, top 5 killers in the game right now. Just like throwing beer after beer after beer. And this one, I love the name. It's called Reno as fuck.
Nice. And I like that they just straight spelled it out too.
Yeah, like apparently there's like a movement like in Reno. It's called Reno as fuck. Like there's its own website. Like this whole like join the movement. Like it's like a blogging. They got apparel. They got all this crap, right?
Yeah.
So because they're from Sparks, Nevada, so they rep Nevada, and so this one I guess was born and brewed actually in Reno, so it's Reno as fuck, and they had a nice little description on here. It's embracing the no holds barred, pure, dirty, clean, crass culture of the greatest place in the world. This beer is a reflection of the city it was born in. It's real, down to earth, and unfiltered. You don't buy this beer, you earn this beer. This beer is Reno as fuck.
Can I just say I love it when you read a label like that? Like you just get into it's like story time with a bunch of kids, but
It's
with
entertainment, huh?
me. It
Yeah.
is. You know
Yeah.
what it is? You know what it is?
What is it?
It's Barros as fuck. That's what
That's
it
right,
is.
dude. Well, if we were in Reno, it'd be fucking Barros as fuck right
Yeah.
now.
The way you just read that label was Barros as fuck.
But anyway, it's a double IPA or a double hazy IPA, New England style, 8.4%, 23 IBUs. It's legit. Cheers.
That's solid.
Revision.
Cheers, bud. Yeah, okay. I'm not feeling it. I just took another
Did your
sip.
score
I'm
go
not feeling
down?
it.
Did your score go down from 5?
Yeah, I think it's a 3. I'll
Yeah.
give a solid 3 for creativity. That's about it.
See, this one's 8.4% ABV, and like the first sip like starts at 8.4, and like this beer's only gonna get better
Yeah.
from here on out.
So this
Like
is
I'll
getting
probably
worse.
be at like 9.5 when I'm all done with it. You know,
Yeah. This one's
that's how
definitely
you
getting,
do it, man.
this one's definitely getting worse, but that's all right. I'm gonna tough it out.
Yeah. Come on, Jen.
Damn it,
Jeez.
Jen. Damn it, Virginia. No, it's okay. I'm proud of her for trying something that doesn't start with a C and end in Urs Light.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh man.
So, dude, as we drink our adult beverages, should we talk about something adult? Like, did you happen to catch the presidential debates this week?
No.
Yeah.
The first one and the vice president one was enough for me. I mean, I had it on the background, but here's the deal. Like I and I know you're like this too, but I know who I'm voting for. This wasn't going to change anything. And on top of that, like, dude, the time that's on, that's prime, like freaking dinner time, getting kids in
for
bed.
families, that's not a convenient time, and sometimes it's like it's not something your kids want to watch. You know?
Yeah.
And so, I mean,
yeah.
I honestly totally forgot it was on, but when I realized it was on, like I still could have turned it on. I was like, I don't even really care. I was like,
Yeah.
because like at this point, I've already like sent in my ballot. I've already voted. Like whatever took place last night wasn't gonna change my vote.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I already know where I stand personally.
Yeah.
So I mean, it would have just been for pure entertainment value.
Yeah, I'm gonna vote tomorrow. I mean, I have my ballot. I'm gonna fill it out and drop it off. But like, I'm not. That wasn't gonna change anything. I haven't had the time. I'm definitely gonna look up like the key points at some point. I've just been so slammed with work, and then the kids. Like I told you before
You're
we
gonna definitely
started.
like review like the certain like the specific props and measures that are like in your local community because that really matters too.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
like obviously the presidential race is only one bubble on your ballot. You know, you gotta kind of look. You gotta spend some time, like a half an hour or so at least, to review the pros and cons of the local measures.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, we're recording this. We're gonna be a day late because we both been so freaking busy with the week. I mean, I'm
not
slammed.
that anyone really cares, you know. But
I know, but it just like the work is nuts. I know your work is busy. It was Ashley's birthday. Happy birthday, Ashley. And then I've been so busy at work. I forgot to even like say that to her on social media or anything. So tell her I said happy birthday, please.
Oh no, she'll watch this. She'll see it. I'm just kidding.
That's what I'm telling you to tell her.
Yeah.
That I haven't had the time to really look into it as much as I normally would. I did hear that I guess they did actually have a mute button this time, so I'm sure that was probably entertaining.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm sure that was actually probably. I mean, I don't really like to talk politics, but I don't care. I will openly say I am not voting for Trump. That's for me.
Yeah.
But from what I heard and read, it was a real struggle for him because that's his game. That's part of his game.
His thing is intimidation.
Yeah, and if you mute him and you give the person the time and opportunity to actually answer the questions being asked, it throws him off his game. And I'm pretty sure, and that's why I do want to watch a little bit because I'm kind of curious to see what that actually looked like. But I did hear that, and I heard that was probably that was actually kind of interesting.
Nice.
So, but
I heard that the moderator was like way better this time.
Yeah,
which I haven't seen any clips to like really check that out. I mean, I guess this is like terrible podcasting. We're talking about something I never even watched.
But. I know. I will say this though. I do have one thing that is kind of interesting, and I'm gonna don't want
I'm
to say I'm going to
curious.
defend Trump, but I saw a quick clip today on Twitter about another scenario where Melania like ripped her hand away from him as he's trying to hold her hand.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched it a few times and it's like the way it happens, it's kind of weird. There's been one time where there was like legit, like he's like tapping her hand and shit and she's not having it. But all the other times, like so it was a clip, right? And then I just scrolled through the comments where people are posting all the old videos and shit. And I'm watching all these and I'm like, dude, there's one time he's like walking down a plane, tries to grab her hand, and it's the hand she's holding a purse, and then she's stepping down the steps and she's like trying to hold her dress.
Dude, the internet will
straight.
spin the narrative.
Yeah, it's
however
like
they want
I'm not buying it. Last
No.
night's it was like the way she jerked away, and then when he let go, her hand was still like kind of open to the point like if you're not trying to hold someone's hand, you're ripping your hand away and like shutting it down, and it was like
And
there's
you're
this
giving them a
awkward
weird
little
look at
thing.
the same time, you know?
Yeah, there was like this awkward little thing she did where it's just I'm not buying it, and that's the thing that's one of the things that I'm always like frustrates me, especially in politics, is like any little tiny thing that they can on both sides they can try to blow up, you know?
Oh, yeah,
And it's like, dude, I'm not buying it. I don't think I mean, I'm sure
Well, the thing is like, even if she really, like, hated him and didn't wanna be with him anymore and all that kinda stuff, it's like, you don't think that, like, for the purpose of this campaign, that there's somebody like, this is all for show, like, that there's somebody gonna be like, "Just hold his hand. When you go over here, you're gonna do this, and you're gonna grab his
Yeah.
hand, you're gonna do this, and you're gonna walk over here, and you're gonna smile, and you're gonna do that." You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
like and she knows that she's getting paid or she's doing whatever, and, like, it's all well and good, and, like, behind closed doors, like, she knows where she stands and who she is and whatever,
Yeah.
you know? It's like, she's not gonna, like, blow this up for the public, or she's not gonna blow up a good thing she's already got going.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
And I just it just I think people also forget, like, you know, she's not a Native American is like the worst term, but she's not an American born citizen. Like, you know, she has a different
Right,
ethnic
exactly.
background and stuff. Like maybe she just deals with hand holding differently. It just it was
Yeah,
one
it
of
could be
those
a cultural thing, you never
yeah,
know.
just one of those things I'm just not buying. It was kind of
I
weird seeing it.
doubt
I'm
it,
just
but
like stop focusing on the petty little things. Look at the big picture things, you know? Like we've talked about in the past. So I'm gonna leave it at that. That's just one thing I saw and I was just kind of like, this is dumb again. So um
there's a lot of things I'm sure that were pretty dumb,
oh
but
yeah.
that was
Yeah.
definitely one of them.
Yeah, but that's really the only thing I saw. And that
Well,
was at like the end.
the same thing like, you know, with all the pictures you see, like, a hand of from Biden, like, on someone's shoulder.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, yeah, like, he's just, like, he's trying to cop a feel, dude, like, I'm sure
Yeah.
that's not the context that it really was, you
Yeah,
know? Like, let's
exactly.
be real.
Exactly. It just I mean, I feel like there's definitely probably like some kind of miscommunication between them and what they're supposed to be doing at the end of these events and stuff, but I don't think it's a like she hates his guts and is fed. I mean, she could be, and I could. This all could be legit, but it's just funny that out of like the entire debate, that's like one of the biggest things everyone's focusing on is at the end when they're saying goodbye, and like it's like if you watch like the whole clip, there's like the miniature clip, it's just a hand, then the act before, and people are like, "Oh, Biden waved at Trump." And Trump totally disregarded it. If you watch the video, Biden waves to him as Trump is turning. Like it's obvious he just completely didn't see it. Like, I mean, I don't think Trump would wave back to begin with, but it's just like one of like it's just like the focus is on these little things that literally mean nothing in the
But that's
big
what the
picture.
internet is. That's what the internet is. It's like, oh, like,
Yeah.
like, we're the people that watch this over and over, so we finally found something we can talk about.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's like, there's nothing there. Like, let's focus on the real issue,
Yeah.
you know?
This is like the racists that we talked about a while back that painted over the Black Lives Matters thing.
Yeah.
Like I just want to live in the person's head for like 5 minutes. That's like, oh my God, did you see her pull her hand away? I need to crop this video and I need to post it on everything right now. Oh my God, that's the takeaway from this whole entire debate. She turned and ripped her hand away from him. Oh my gosh. Unbelievable. I just want to live in that person's head for 5 minutes. That's it. Just crazy. Oh.
True.
I got more ranting to do tonight though. That's not where it ends. Shall I continue?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
You're just getting warmed up, dude.
Oh, I'm getting warmed up, dude. So something's triggered me big
sour
time.
beer must be like making other things like sour up there, man. And you're just trying to go in.
Feeding my inner sourness. So I got some gaming stuff that's come up, and not like it has to do with the gaming community,
Hang
but
on, sorry, I gotta put my beer in my Colster
oh my
before it
god,
gets too warm.
it's fucking koozie. It's cozy koozie.
You're just jealous that you don't have one.
You know what? I
Lonnie.
might be a little bit, okay, but it's
I'll
also
send you the link,
ridiculous.
bro. Send you the link.
Thank you. Don't say that out loud though. Okay, so I got some beef.
Yeah.
The gaming community, and this doesn't really apply just to the gaming community, but this is where it's hit the hardest. So on Twitch, again, our favorite website that doesn't know what the fuck they're doing, they just went on this massive DMCA strike. So DMCA is it's the, I always forget what it's the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, I think is what it is. It's basically like to give there's a lot to it, but basically what it is it's an act that makes it so if you play music, copyrighted music on any kind of digital site without consent from the artist or the label, you are eligible for being DMCA
Copyright
striked,
infringement.
and yeah, basically copyright infringement. I understand it. This was a big ordeal with YouTube a while ago, and I understand it in the sense where people would like put up a video of a music and it'd be like a lyrics video or something, right? And they're just playing the song from start to finish. And what that does,
to go on with the lyrics,
yeah. And in a scenario like that, it made it really easy to pirate. You know, you can just record it, whatever, take that. And I understand in that scenario. However, when it comes to Twitch, it's a little different, right? So they just took down, they just like hit like over 1,000 streamers, I think it is, with these DMCA strikes. And basically what it does, it gives you a hit on your profile that, if you get, I think it's like 3, you're banned or whatever. But it also, they are removing certain content. And the thing that's the really killer is for those big time streamers that have years of, VODs.
Yeah.
There, a couple of them, like Tim the Tap Man had a Twitter post that either yesterday or today, just saying how it is. It's kind of a bummer that he has to go through all this old content and delete years of VODs in fear that he's going to get DMCA'd. So here's my beef with this. And there's this, I have to kind of explain this to get to what my real rage is going to be about. This is 100% free advertisement for an artist and a label. Why it's different on Twitch? Because on Twitch, you're watching someone play a video game. They have the video game audio on. They have them talking, and the music's in the background. Ain't nobody trying to freaking pirate a 50 Cent song with my jackass talking in Call of Duty when all you hear is gunshots. It's like just to fill those voids, right?
Yeah.
And it's such a large part. Do you know, I can't even tell you how many times I've been watching a streamer, they've had a song up, I'm like, ooh, dude, that's kind of dope. What is that? And I'll either ask in chat, yo, what's the song? Or sometimes like when I used to do it, I used to have the name of the song that would pop up on the screen. I can't tell you how many times I've been like, oh, I'm feeling this song, dude. I'll look it up, pop it in Spotify, like it, listen to it 1 billion times over the next 5 days. And what am I doing? I'm paying the artist and the label by listening to it legit through Spotify. But I would have never known that song if I didn't catch it on the stream I'm watching. It's 100% free advertisement. It's the dumbest thing, dude.
It's like, this is only going to hurt artists so much more. I don't think it's really going to help. And then it's like, what? So you can only create your own music if you want to play music?
Yeah, or there's a bunch of like free copyright playlists, which no disrespect to the artist, I appreciate it, but it's not the same. No. It's usually like up and coming artists that are just trying to pump shit out, and it's half-ass or kind of hokey, and I appreciate it. There's a lot that's pretty catchy, but like I'm trying to play a certain song, a certain vibe, a certain artist, it's really like
you should be able to. It's like really restricting on what you like, what could be, freedom of speech or just freedom of expression. It's like, this is part of my vibe. It's like, I paid for this song. Like I'm listening to it. I can't listen to it in my own home and stream it at the same time.
Yeah, and that's a great point. Like, this is an argument that was made, is like, you're essentially saying that I can't, if I buy a song and I play it, my wife can't overhear it, or am I going to get DMCA'd in my own house because my wife is listening to a song and she didn't pay for it?
Yeah, like
It's like,
let's go old school, dude. Like what if you had the song on a fucking like on a 45, like a record, and it was like behind me on a record player, and I just turned that thing on before I sat down, and now you can hear it.
yeah,
Like that's just a whole level of like, really? We're coming
yeah.
after people for this kind of thing?
Yeah, and that's
You
what
know?
and that's what's infuriating to me and makes it really stupid. Like I said, the whole thing with YouTube when it first started, there was a lot of drama about it when they started doing it. When they were on attack mode for people that were just straight up uploading the video, the music, they're not talking or anything, and then the lyrics are just popping up in a video. And I understand that because that is taking away from the artist. Because now I have an avenue where I can listen to this song from start to finish crystal clear, and
Yeah.
that listen doesn't go towards that credit that goes towards the artist, you know?
Right,
It
right,
goes towards the
exactly.
person that uploaded the video. That's
Yeah.
one thing.
That's where this should be applied to,
Yes. But
video content like
exactly.
that,
And
you know?
and you know, it's just mind blowing. And a lot of and I will say this, a lot, and I mean a lot of artists have spoken up and been like, "Play my music." It's not the artists though. It's the labels that
Yeah, it's a record
are
label,
being
so unless
the
they're on their own label, you know,
yeah.
like an independent label or their own label or whatever.
Yeah. So it's just dumb. I don't know. You know, this is an act that was
Or you're
designed
just
in
gonna
like
have more people teaming up. It's gonna be all about money, right? So it's like all these big time streamers who are getting paid money to stream on certain platforms are then gonna have other contracts with so many record labels now that are gonna be like, "Oh, okay, well, you can play the artists that are on our label on your stream," or you have to, in fact. You have
yeah.
to play so many of these artists between this time and this time, and you have to play these artists between this time. Like that's what it's gonna be, but it's gonna be another way for both sides to make the money.
Yep. Yeah. And it's just it's kind of absurd, but I think the
It's
big
like
takeaway is
Ninja Twitch streamer is gonna become like freaking Chewy Gomez and KML, like, "Oh, you heard it here first, guys,
yeah.
on, Ninja's stream," you know?
Yeah. And that's the reality is like it's another avenue for artists and labels to get to a certain demographic or population, get their music to them. And the
Yeah,
thing about it is the label and the artist doesn't have to do anything.
I know.
It's 100% free advertisement, and
I hope
it's
they
just
I
insane.
hope, like, they're, like hope there's some data on this, like, about downloads and things like that from all the different music platforms like Spotify and whatnot.
Hmm.
And then once they throw this into effect, I hope all that data, like, you could see, like, how many things drop off because nobody's looking up certain songs
Yeah,
anymore, you know?
yeah,
And then maybe
and
they'll realize how much of a bad idea this was.
yeah. I mean, it's something that I mean, I know it's not like gonna kill an artist or anything, but it's definitely something that if it's there, it's free advertisement. Why wouldn't you want it?
Yeah.
So I just feel like there needs to be. I mean, this was created. I believe this was created because of the whole Napster thing, because it was created around maybe it was before Napster. I think it was in the late 90s, like 98 that it was created. I should have looked this up before we started talking about it. But it was I think it's just another one of those things that maybe needs to be updated because the times have changed so much. Social media and internet platforms have become these massive multi-billion dollar platforms now that there may need to be some reworking to the act. I don't know if that's even something that can be done. I don't know that. I don't know the politics side of it, but it's just something that right now it's hurting both sides. It's hurting streamers because it's been a nice kind of like fill the void when you're focused in like I know like in times where I have to go to the bathroom. Okay,
Yeah.
run, have the music playing in the background. It's still in a scenario and how it's played. It's so subtle where it's like usually it's not blasting. It's you have it in your background. Just keeps that content flowing. It's great. Like I used to have it. I used to have songs playing. I'd be in the middle of a gunfight. I'd be quiet, zoned in. I'm not listening to the music because I'm listening for footsteps and stuff. But I have it playing
Yeah.
into the stream. It just adds to that. And I can't tell you how many times I've seen in my chat. Dude, that was hella funny. The music lined up perfectly with that gunfight. It was super fun. Like it adds, and it's like
Yeah. Yeah, it's just another
it's a
element.
win-win.
Exactly,
So
exactly.
it's just stupid and interesting.
It's kind of like the same purpose of elevator music in an elevator or in a
Yeah.
waiting room at the doctor's office,
Yeah.
but, like, it happens to be a song that you, like, actually wanna listen to, you know?
Yeah.
So,
So
it's like you're not blasting it over everything, like,
yeah. Yeah.
bumping your head like, "We're just jamming to
Yeah.
music tonight,"
It's
you know?
just
It's
to
like,
fill.
you would be pretty terrible at video games if you tried to do that,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh yeah. No, it's just there to fill. Streamers mainly use music just to fill those silent areas that happen when you're trying to play a video game.
Right.
So now that we have that out of the way, this is where the real fun in my rant begins. And my rant is towards one person. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to read this tweet. This is from Alex Hutchinson, who is, I forget, he's the lead or some kind, I think he's the lead designer for Google Stadia. Okay. So let me give you some background on what Google Stadia is. Google Stadia was the first cloud-based video gaming platform to be released. So what that means is you don't need a console to play their games. They literally, when they launched, if you bought into it, they sent you a controller. You could literally on your phone, on a web browser, wherever you log into Stadia, and you could pop into Destiny, sync your controller, boom, you're playing. Brilliant idea for people that travel, things like that.
Yeah,
Awesome. I mean, the
absolutely.
thought to be able to play Call of Duty on my
Right.
cell phone through a web browser is great. Now, here's the thing. It launched one of the worst launches in the history of gaming. They promised 60 frames per second. You'd be lucky if you got 12 frames per second. They promised all these features. Majority of them still haven't even been released. It's been like one of the worst gaming flops of all time.
Wow.
And it was really disappointing. It was so bad, Danny, to the point I bought into it. I have the Founders Edition controller, everything in my closet right here. I never even opened it. That's how bad it was.
How much did that cost you?
$60. I basically bought a controller, and then it's a monthly subscription.
Right.
It is really cool. Like the concept's really cool. I actually did last year when I was training for work. You don't need to use the controller, but I tested it on my work computer just as a joke. And I was literally on break during training. I was sitting in the front of the class. I'm the trainer, so I'm sitting in the front of the class playing Destiny 2 on my work laptop. It was just hysterical, right? I mean, my co-trainer were just cracking up about it, but it was terrible. It was super glitchy and everything, but it looked like it had a lot of potential, and it still does. Yeah. The thing is, they have not helped, and now since then, other platforms like Nvidia have released cloud-based things that are doing much better. It's still work in progress, but
they brought
it has the potential to be.
And somebody else has beat them there with the tech. You know, it's basically what it is.
Yeah. So let me read what this, excuse my language, dumb motherfucker decided he would tweet, and how unfreaking like in touch he is with his community, his gaming community.
All right.
Streamers worried about getting their content pulled because they used music they didn't pay for should be more worried by the fact that they're streaming games they didn't pay for as well. It's all gone as soon as publishers decide to enforce it. The real truth is the streamers should be paying the developers and publishers of the games they stream. They should be buying a license like any real business and paying for the content they use.
Interesting.
Stupid. So what you're telling me is I'm a streamer. If I want to stream a game, I should pay you to stream your game. That's what he's implying.
But that's exactly what they're saying about the music. That's what he's implying.
Yes,
so
but
like if I can't stream the music because I didn't pay for it, blah blah blah, or I'm not paying you to stream your music, then I should be paying so and so to stream their game at the same time. You know?
Yeah, but here's the thing: streamers buy the video game.
You buy the game.
You buy the game. They're paying for the game,
and that's
it's
just like the advertising you said.
It's free advertisement.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. This is the thing that triggers me about it
right now. You know? Call of Duty is not hurting.
No.
Because nobody's paying them to stream it.
Dude, Call of Duty is the most popular game right now because streamers are streaming it.
Yeah.
Like
it's like the only game I ever see stream. You know?
This is what triggered me about this, and this is just one dumbass. Okay, majority of developers and stuff, they're understanding the importance of streamers, and they are actually, there has been some occasions where developers release a new game and they have paid streamers upwards of $100,000+
Yeah.
to stream their game on opening weekend. Okay, and it has saved a lot of games. So there's two games that this is what triggered me about this. One is called Fall Guys. The other is called Among Us. So Fall Guys is this stupid little puppet game that
Yeah.
oh shoot, hang on, just gotta answer this text. Sorry, the wife. Okay. So Fall Guys is this silly little like race to the finish game. It's really fun, it's really entertaining. It's like, I think it was like a $20 game. Nothing spectacular. It's such a simply made game. There was some dude that made almost in a like identical copy of it through some editing software on his cell phone. That's how like simple this game is. It's a simple game. And then there's Among Us, that is a 2D game. It's an old school like pixel game. I don't even really understand it. I haven't watched that much, but I guess it's something where there's like an imposter. You got to figure out, one person's the imposter, the rest are regular, and you got to figure out who the imposter is. But it's been blowing up on streams. This is a $5 game. These two games, some main streamers played it. It was like really, like, they had a lot of fun. It was funny, and these games exploded and probably made millions more than they ever expected, solely because some top streamers got a hold of it, played it, and had some good content. And then all those, we're in the age now where we have some streamers on an average can average upwards of 100,000+ viewers. So you have 100,000 people watching this guy play this fucking $5 game called Among Us, laughing their asses off, having fun. What do? They go buy the game with their buddies and they play the game. It's a free advertisement. It's free advertisement. And you're telling me that you want to make these guys pay you to play their game. And I think what he's trying to say is like a contract. You know? It's like, no. Or here's the other thing. How about they just don't play your game and they trash it? And then your game's going to fucking get buried. And that's happened too. And my argument to those are like, well, because this one guy didn't like the game, all his viewers didn't like the game. No, that one guy didn't like your game because your game probably sucked. So make a better game.
Dude, but you know what? You know how backwards they have it? It's like, think about it this way. Under Armour pays Steph Curry to wear their shoes on the basketball game. And guess what? That game's being broadcast on TNT. Okay? So that's like saying, oh, Steph, sorry, that the game's being broadcast on TNT. We didn't know that. You need to pay us if you want to wear the Under Armour shoes on TNT.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's like everybody's gonna go buy the Steph Currys now because they get to see him wear those. It's like they've got it so backwards. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like it's the same way like famous people, rich people, like whatever, they get free shit. Why do they get free shit? Because people want their shit in their hands so that other people can see them with it and then want to buy it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a perfect example. So this dude got buried online. All the top streamers are like clowning on him and everything and talking how he's crazy. So he comes back later that same day with, amazing to me that people are upset at someone saying that the creators of content should be allowed to make some of the money from other people using their content for profit. They are because the free advertisement is making more people buy your game.
I know.
Like, dude, like I just feel like it's so out of touch with the gaming community and the people that you are supposedly supposed to be making content for.
Well, I mean, I think what it also comes down to is there's still so many. A lot of this it's so great, but it's still so new in a sense. And there's like, I don't think there's, no one knows how to regulate it. No one knows how to do anything. But what we do know about the society and people is that they're greedy as fuck.
Yeah.
And like, everybody wants as many hands in the jar, or as many pieces of the pie as they can, as big a slice and everything. And so once they figure out that they've got something even remotely successful, like they're going to try to find ways to put restrictions so nobody else can get a piece of it.
Yeah.
And that's what this comes down to. And it's like, and they're trying to maximize every other piece of it. And it's like, you don't realize that if you're going to try this too much, you're actually going to hurt yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
And this goes back to a while back. We started having this big issue with gaming. I don't know if I talked about this. I don't think I did. If I did, it was probably briefly, but we had this issue with gaming for a while that got really bad with microtransactions, where we see a lot of games that have microtransactions, which is really a great way for that developer to get money to continue making their game. And you see it all the time in games where they come out with this nice skin and it's cool and you can buy it $5, things like that. And that's really cool. But what happened with the microtransactions is it got to a point where you could buy certain items that would benefit you in winning that game. You could buy like this crazy overpowered gun or something. So it turned into pay to win. And that's where like it got to the point where the gaming community started raging. And Star Wars Battlefront 2 is the one where it finally broke the camel's back, I guess, or whatever, where they released the game. It's a pretty decent game, but there were a lot of things you could buy to get ahead in your leveling. And it just blew up to the point where the community just buried the game. The game had like the worst freaking flop in income or profit and things like that. Like it was negative. It was just a disaster. And it actually made it so some rules or laws were kind of implemented on microtransactions. It was a big win, to the point where you still see microtransactions, but they're never pay to win. They're always now it's strictly cosmetic. Call of Duty is notorious for it. They every day they update their in-game store with some pretty cool I mean, I've spent hundreds of dollars on stupid ass skins in Call of Duty, but it's just skins, gun skins, characters, model skins, things
really
like that.
Enhance the game one bit,
Yeah, it's not like they're letting you buy a gun where you shoot one shot and it blows up 50 people in front of you or something. So
right.
And that's where it's like, okay, and that's nice because that is a way for that company to make a profit, and most of the time they utilize that to continue supporting that game, giving updates, bringing free content and things like that.
Yeah.
So I just feel like this is along that lines where it's like this is a dude who's just probably bitter that he's the head of a product that was a complete flop. And he's seeing all these people making a lot of money, and I mean streamers, some of these streamers now, like they're signing multi-million-dollar contracts. We've talked about that already. I mean, their income from their subs, like we got guys, Nick Merckx is like pushing 60,000 subscribers. Well, to sub to him, it's $5. Twitch takes half of that, so he gets $2.50 per sub. You do the math, in a month this guy's making upwards of $150,000 just from his subscribers. That's not including the donations that people give him. That's not including the sponsors that he has. Like this guy's probably pushing $300,000 a month. That's a lot of money. But instead of being a stingy little bitch, go to him and be like, hey, we got this game coming out. Let me throw you freaking $100K on, release weekend. You stream it all weekend. That's what they've done. Now Ninja did that with Apex Legends. I think Shroud was another one. Apex Legends. They paid these guys some money to stream on opening weekend, and you know what they got? They got a fantastic launch. It was amazing. It's a game that I really like that I probably wouldn't have put as much time in if I didn't see these other guys playing it. And it's an opportunity for you to look at a game and say, you know what, this is a game I want to play or not. And you know what? If it's a game that, if you think you're losing people by giving them, by them having an opportunity to watch the game being played and make the judgment call before they're playing it, you're not making a game. You're not playing to your community well enough. If your mindset is, you know what,
form of advertising there is.
Yeah, and it's like if your mindset is, I'm going to show a trailer that's really cool, and all these people are going to buy the game, but the game really is shit. That's your problem. You know?
And that's something that's not going to succeed.
If anything, the fact that people can watch a streamer play this game and play a game all the way through from start to finish, that should inspire you to make a game that makes people want to watch it and then watch it and want to play it.
But people also need
So
to understand, and they like when it comes to marketing and in the world we live in today, it's like it's much different than it's been in years past. And yeah, you can still influence people by a cool trailer or whatnot, but it's not as easy as that anymore. It's like they might be interested, but you haven't sold them yet. It's like what it takes nowadays is people actually look up things. They look up reviews. They want to look up what's is there customer feedback on this? Or like even if it's something simple that you're buying for your house. It's like you don't just be like, "Oh, wow, that's really cool. If I order right now, you mean you're going to send me two like with free shipping?" Like,
yeah,
okay. I'll do that. And like no one does that crap anymore. Like
yeah,
like the infomercial that's on TV. If you think something's cool, you're gonna do a little bit more research on it. And if they have no more research to do because no one's played this game and it's just a trailer to go off of, what do you think they're gonna do? They're not gonna buy the game.
yeah, exactly. They want to see more, and that's why like this is no different than all these companies now. What they do is they have open betas. When the game's about to release, they're in the beta. They open it to the community for free. The reason for that is it's they're using the community to see the stability of the game.
Yeah. And to
To
help
yeah,
fix the game
and it's
and make
like
it better.
and you know what you're doing? You're doing exactly in this scenario. You're doing exactly the opposite of what you're saying. You're using the community for free to test your game.
Yeah, you're
To
not paying us
see,
to test
you're
it.
not paying me to play your beta. What I get out of it is I get access to a game I'm interested in for free early. And
Yeah.
what you get out of it is some sucker playing your game and testing it for you for free. So
And then
what's the
after
difference?
you hooked him on it, you're gonna tell him that he has to pay you $60 to
Yeah,
play it now,
yeah,
you know?
exactly. And in the process, and you know, it always comes with a big warning. This is beta. Be prepared for errors and stuff. And it's like what you're doing in that sense is you're working temporarily for this company for free.
Yeah, you're a
That is
tester.
what you're doing. Or how you're getting paid is you get to play the game ahead of time
Put it
for
on your
free.
resume, dude, you're a video game tester.
Yeah. So it's like, so with this jackass saying this, it makes you think like, what? Like it just made the first thing I thought of was how like unrelatable this guy is to his own community. Like he has no concept whatsoever of the purpose and what video games are.
No, clearly not.
It's just, and this is the part that made me laugh, and I already talked on it. His last tweet, he does a GIF of what's the dude's name from the oh my god, my brain is fried from this week, dude. The
Dude, you're really
fucking
bringing it home right now.
I know I'm tanking right now. Whatever. It's a GIF of a dude that's just doing like the oh my gosh hand in his face, but it's from a movie, whatever. But so he has that GIF, and it says, "Anyway, gonna hop online and stream some Fall Guys. Who's up for it?" And it just to me is the icing on the cake because it's like, dude, Fall Guys is the game it is because of streamers.
Yeah.
It's just like, and you know what? And you know who'll be the first person to tell you
Well,
that?
it's guys like Tim the Tap Man and all these guys that were making fun of the game because thousands of people see it,
Yeah.
and then everyone starts playing it. It's like, come on.
And the funny thing about it, the reason Fall Guys is the game it was or is still is because Tim the Tap Man couldn't get a win in the game, and it was like the laughing stock to the point where people were where I think at one point he had like upwards of 300,000 views. We talked about this before.
Yeah,
He had like 300 something thousand viewers watching him play this freaking goofy little kids game that he couldn't get a win with. And it was some of the best streaming content we've ever seen since Twitch even became a thing.
Yep.
And it's just so comical that he uses that game. And the best part about it is if you follow, like I've said in the past, if you follow Fall Guys, their Twitter, they're hysterical. And I guarantee you, I would put my life savings on them agreeing that their game is what it is because of streamers.
Yeah, I bet.
They feed into it. That half the reason Tim the Tap Man had all these viewers and stuff is because of the comedy that the Fall Guys Twitter account, the friendly banter going back and forth between.
They were live going back and forth.
Yeah, like he would fail or like he'd be in the middle of the game getting to the last round, and the Fall Guys developers would tweet, "Is this the one?" And then he'd tank it, and they'd be like, "Oh, maybe next time." Like it was hysterical. It was almost like you had to have the stream up and Twitter up side by side to get the full story, and it was just so comical. And it just like, it was just the icing on the cake that he's going to use that game of all games to say, anyways, I'm done with this. I'm going to go play. Like, you fucking idiot, dude. So I don't know, I'm done ranting.
I mean, it's no shock now as to why his company failed then. It's just like, well, it didn't have some good leadership, I guess. You know?
Yeah. It just,
But,
I don't know, bro. I just can't believe you can. It's just a perfect example of like tweeting without thinking, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Anyways.
Anyway.
I know we got a little bit of football news that's kind of interesting.
Dude, before we get into like football news, I have a question about the NFL. I'm like, I know they made a lot of rule changes over the last few years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and specifically like the kickoff rule. Kickoff has changed to where it's like, okay, kicking team can no longer get a running start. I understand that. Touchback comes from the 25 instead of the 20. They're trying to encourage more touchbacks. But like I was watching it, and I guess I didn't really understand all the rules. Remember back in the day when after the ball was kicked, it was a live ball. So even when it landed in the end zone, like you had to down it because like the other team could touch it and it could be a touchdown.
Yeah.
You know? But like, and I kept saying to myself, like, I can't believe they just let the ball go. It's not bouncing out of the end zone every time. It's like it's still in the end zone. Like the other team can get the ball. And then I look up the rule and it's like, oh, now it's a dead ball if it's just laying in the end zone.
Yeah.
So it's the goal line now, not the back of the goal line to where it's a touchback. And it's just like, I get they're trying to make the game safer and like, but like you could still make the receiving team put forth the effort to go down the ball.
Yeah.
You know, it's like make them make the physical choice to take, you know, a touchback.
Yeah. Well, that's
You know,
that's like the walk,
yeah, 4-pitch walk.
Yeah, the walk in baseball where like you had to actually throw the pitches, and there was that, maybe not so much in the big leagues, but you always had those fun videos every once in a while where, you know, a little leaguer or someone threw the bat and freaking hit a jack, you know,
Well, and
intentional walk.
I mean, it goes back to the human element of the game. It's like it's not that easy to throw that outside pitch like when you're a guy who's trained to throw strikes, you know? It's like
Yeah.
it's not that easy. And so it's like you don't take the possibility of a mistake out of the game just to speed it up or I don't know if you're trying to save the guy's arm. Like, come on. Like he's not like rearing back trying to get 100 miles an hour on that, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you're doing him any
Yeah.
solids by taking 4 pitches off his arm just for a intentional walk, you know?
Yeah. And it's the risk. Like we have what we have seen in unintentional walks in the big leagues is going too far, the catch not getting it. There's someone on base, and you give him a free base.
Yeah.
You know,
Or
it adds
score runs off that, you know?
It's a technical element that's being taken away. And it's the same thing with what you're talking about in football. It's just a technical element. Yeah. Okay. 1 in a billion that a defender is going to get down there and get the ball.
Yeah.
But it's still that one time that adds for a great freaking historical moment that's humorous, entertaining. You know, the value of it is, and it's just a technical thing that they're removing. You know, it's strategy. Yeah. It's that's what makes sports so interesting and exciting to me, at least. That's like I love baseball so much. It's such a strategic game.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
All sports are like that. They all have their certain element of strategy that makes it interesting, where you got to think things through. You know, you got to think as a kicker. You know, he's lined up on this side of the end zone. If I get it on that side of the end zone, I got this dude on my team that is like literally Usain Bolt. There's this slim chance he can get to it before that guy. Let's just give it a shot. You know, it's that strategic mindset that makes it entertaining.
Right. Well, and I think the kicking team is like kicking from like the 35 now.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's even deeper. It's like you can even do like a little like chip shot kick. I've always thought about this. Like if, like you said, you got that speedster guy on the edge, like who's running down the sidelines. and you kind of do this like chip shot, like 40, 50-yard kick. That's just like a little punch, like, down, like
Like
maybe to
over
the
the
left on
line,
the
but not all the
sideline.
way to the dude in the back.
Yeah, so it's like if it landed, it's gonna land maybe on like the 25, but you're hoping that the guy on the sideline is running fast enough to maybe he can catch it or
Yeah.
even catch it off of like one bounce.
Yeah.
But they don't have anybody over there to catch it, so it's gonna catch him off guard,
Yeah.
and you gotta get it before he
Yeah.
kicks it out of bounds or all that kind of shit, So it's
Yeah.
like,
And we've seen things like that where they've done that, where they have that dude that's running full speed and he hits the line right as the kicker kicks it. So he's already freaking going. And
yeah.
the other team's backpedaling. So it's like we've seen that like kind of already, and it takes away from that.
Well, that's why, like, I hate that. I really don't like the rule that, like, if you kick it out of bounds, it's like it's a penalty essentially, and a ball gets placed on like the 40 or 45-yard line, something
Yeah.
like that. Where it's like, but if you punt it out of bounds, it's no big deal.
Yeah, that's always been weird to me.
You
Like
know?
that should be the same thing. It's got to be in play.
Exactly. Exactly. And it kind of could play to the strategy. It's like if you I remember even in high school, like our coach would have the kicker kick it to the corner because he's like, they're not standing in the corner and it only makes them returnable on one side. And we can overload that one side and this can happen. So even if you chip shotted it to the corner to where it didn't go into the end zone, but like, yes, if you're chip shotting into the corner, you run the risk of it going out of bounds.
Yeah.
So it's like you got to get down there fast enough to make sure it doesn't go out of bounds. But even if it
Hmm.
did go out of bounds, like it should be part of the strategy. It's
Yeah.
like it shouldn't just be like, okay, here it's gonna go to the 40-yard line,
Yeah.
That's one thing I disagree with.
Yeah. I can get on board with that.
So,
Anytime they make a modification that's better for the game but removes the strategic aspect of it, it pisses me off. That's why, like, I
yeah.
raged. I raged when you told me about the whole person on second base and the extra innings now. Like that's
How do you
just.
feel about it now, though, after they've already done a season with it?
I still don't like it.
Yeah.
I just. I get the wanting to shorten the game. I do get that.
I'd
I just
much
don't like
rather
it.
them do I'd much rather them keep the guy on second base in extra innings than keep the DH.
Okay, if I had to pick or choose in 100%, like the DH thing is the thing that really made it hard for me to watch baseball.
Yeah.
Like having your pitcher have to hit is like what makes baseball fun for me. I mean, I
Necessarily,
know
but it's like the
I-
handcuff of the sport, and it's the strategy from the manager that plays the biggest part in that, especially around
yep,
the 6th, 7th inning when you're deciding on whether or not to keep this guy in or not, or we really need a hit because we really need or we're down 1, we got 2 guys on, but I know you've been pitching good, like,
yeah,
shit, I gotta make this fucking decision right now." It's like you don't have to do that. You take away that whole element
yeah,
of the game,
and it's a
just by
big
being
element.
American League and with the DH,
It is
you
an
know?
element that time and time again has won and lost ball games. And I think that in their sight, that's what the issue is. But in my sight as a fan, that's what makes it exciting. Is you're playing this risk card right now. You got freaking whoever up there, Kershaw, one of the best pitchers, and he's on fire, but he can't hit worth shit. You're
Yeah.
down 1. It's like, damn, what do we put it in? Do we put it in the hands of our hitters who aren't hitting that good, and we know like Kershaw ain't gonna let any more runs score, or do we got to try to get that extra hit, get that extra guy on base? It's just like you
Well, it
say,
makes it
like
harder it makes it harder too when you actually have, like runners in scoring position,
yeah,
like, now it's like, yeah, I get it, it's the 6th inning and he's only throwing 72 pitches, but, like, they also got their starter in and he's thrown 86 pitches,
yeah,
and if I pinch hit this guy and they leave the pitcher in, like, there's a good chance he's gonna get one on him,
yeah.
like,
I read
it's
a
great.
I read an article. This was a couple of years ago on this before the DH thing was even in discussion. How someone was kind of trying to argue how it's unfair because some pitchers, and they use Bumgarner as an example, can hit, and it's a disadvantage or it's an advantage because they got a pitcher that's a really good pitcher, but is also a huge threat at the plate. And my first thought was, get your boys some more batting practice.
I know
Like,
they're all
sorry,
ball players. It's like
like
there's no reason pitchers shouldn't be good hitters.
you're telling me
And
this dude did nothing but pitch since he was 3 years old? No, this guy grew up playing all kinds of different positions on all
right.
different ages on different types of teams. This dude's been hitting for years. If he can't hit in the big leagues, that's your problem.
My point, dude, my point is like you go back to Little League, all right? The best kids on the team were also the kids who pitched because they were the best kids on the team.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were also the kids who raked. You know what I mean? And it's like, and that goes with you through high school. It's like you remember, you know, our stud who went to the majors to pitch. He also hit the most bombs on our high school team. Like,
yeah, he was also the freaking quarterback.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's like there's no shock that these guys are athletes. Like they should be able to hit. The reason that they're not good hitters anymore is because somebody tells them they don't have to, and so they never practice it anymore.
Yeah, and you know what? That's something that is on the pitcher and the team that's drafting or signing that pitcher.
A shortstop that like all you need to worry about is fielding. You don't need to worry about hitting.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's cool.
Don't worry about hitting.
If you stop the ball every time,
shortstop that you can be, and that's it.
Yeah, you just hit lead off, and it's wasted out. Not a big deal.
So there's 8 other players on the team that have to worry about both elements of the game: the fielding side of it with their position, and the catching or in the hitting. And it's like, but you this one special position here. You know what, buddy? You don't have to worry about it.
To be honest, I know there's more to it, but I always joke about this. Like, if anyone, the pitcher should be the best hitter on the team because they only play once every 5 days. The rest of the times they could just be practicing hitting.
I mean,
but I know I'm just joking because I know like the importance of taking care of your arm and everything, but it's just like it's comical. It's just comical.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is like, okay, so they're gonna have the DH come to the National League, and then what's next? We just like rosters are gonna go to 45 like football, and we're gonna have 9 guys that play the field and 9 guys that hit. That's it.
Yeah,
18 guys in the lineup, just like some that play only offense in football and only defense in football. It's like we're gonna have only 9. These guys only field, and these guys only hit. You know, it's like
now batting number 25 left. Never mind, just batting 25, the batter.
Yeah, exactly. It's like come on. It's like even back when football first started, like they played 2 ways. You know, that's like to me, that's I miss that. Like I wish that was kind of a thing. I wish more people did that because to me, I feel like that's how the game was truly supposed to be played. You know, like I think, you know, football has its roots from rugby, essentially. And it's like that's how that game is played. Like 11 guys on the field.
Yeah.
Just 11 guys on the field. Not 11 guys on offense, 11 guys on defense, and they switch. It's just 11 guys on the field. You know, if one guy gets hurt, then he comes out. You know, and like it should be the back and forth of the game. The 11 best athletes against the other 11 best athletes. You know, it's like but it's evolved and we've changed our rules to accommodate some precision. You know, we want you know, the best of this and I don't want him to get hurt, so I only want him to do this. And then okay, well we'll have another set of guys who do this over here. And it's just like it's almost like you're watching 2 games. You're watching the offense versus the defense from this team's offense versus this team's defense. Okay, and then they're off the field. And then you're watching the 22 other guys, and this offense versus this defense. You know, it's like it's kind of insane.
Could you imagine if it got to the point where it was like players per inning, right? So it's like your first inning left fielder, your second inning left fielder. Like, could you imagine how insane that would be? Oh my gosh, dude.
Could you also imagine like if let's say, okay, we're going off of complete tangents here, but like let's say baseball was like a lot more like football, right? So like, you know, all the substitution that happens in football and guys can come in and out of the game. It would be like, okay, this guy he's a left-handed batter. He usually pulls it to left. Like we're gonna take the left fielder out and we're gonna add another right fielder in for this one, you know, and then we're gonna swap him out again. And it's just like, you know, it's gonna be kind of like in football, you're counting a guy's snaps. You're gonna count a guy's pitches. Like, he was in the game for this many pitches, you know. It's like Jesus Christ.
Billy Bob in the game for 7 pitches, did fantastic today.
Oh man.
How do you feel about your gameplay? Well, you know. The first pitch was pretty rocky, but the other 6 were good, and I feel like I accomplished something, you know. Then I went back and I sat on the bench for the next 8 days, and
Could you imagine, like, subbing out batters like that? Like, anytime he wanted, it's like,
oh, they
"Oh,
switched. They
this guy only hits with 2 guys on. This guy only hits with 1 guy on." You know? It's
or
like
even like halfway through, like, oh, they're switching to a left-handed pitcher. Up, left-handed
yeah.
batter, right-handed batter, go on up.
Oh my god. Can you imagine how long that game would be?
Oh God, dude. Yeah, it's getting out of control. Hey, you actually brought something that I've always kind of bitched about to my head, with football and the injuries and all that. And dude, I
Yeah.
swear to, whatever, because I'm not religious. I just swear on life. I feel like football, we'd have less injuries if they went back to minimal padding.
Well, yeah, because they wouldn't be hitting each other as hard.
Yeah.
It's when you actually I mean, that's I've kind of thought about that a lot over the years. It's like they've evolved the sport and the padding so much because it is so violent that to allow it to become more violent because you've added such a layer that allows you to come at it at such
Yeah.
force without feeling those effects.
Yeah.
But if you didn't have that ability to bring that force because it would cause such damage, then you wouldn't do it and you'd adapt and the game would be played in a different way,
hmm
you know?
Yeah, and
So
but I really don't think it would take away from the excitement factor of the game. Like I watched rugby here and there. I've watched a lot of Irish football, which is basically rugby.
exciting as
Dude,
hell.
it's
Yeah.
fun to it's fun to watch, and those guys go at it hard. Dude. Like they
Oh,
come out with bumps and bruises,
especially
but
at
like
truck, like, in the middle of the field, like open field, you know?
yeah, but like they go at it hard, but they have a sense of like awareness to where it's
Yeah,
like,
I'm gonna
yo, I
stick my
can't,
head
I
over
gotta,
here, and it's gonna be all shoulder to shoulder,
yeah,
you know? It's like
yeah. And those
yeah.
dudes, every game they come out with bumps and bruises, but I mean, I don't watch it enough to really say this, but I feel like rugby, Irish football, sports like that don't have as many brutal injuries like the NFL when it's
Yeah,
really in so many aspects the exact same game.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I always thought like, let's go old school, dude. No paddings, little leather helmet just to protect, certain parts of your head or whatever,
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
see what happens. But I don't know, just something that's
It
always
is
been curious to
it's
me.
interesting, man. I mean, I feel it's also kinda like the invention of the face mask. I think that's when it really took things up a notch, you
Yeah,
know? Because when your face was exposed, even when you were wearing kinda that leather helmet, it's like the leather helmet was kinda like protecting your ears when you're in those scrums and shit, you know? But, like, the face mask allowed you to, like, really go head up with a guy, you
yeah,
know? And, like, I can put my head in there and really deliver the rest of my body because I know my head's gonna be safe, you
yeah,
know? Or at least my face isn't gonna get smashed, you know?
yeah.
So, it's interesting, dude, it really is, but
Anyways,
there's some evolving stories in the NFL today.
the homeboy is back in town.
Clown.
The
AB
man,
the clown.
the man, the myth, the psychopath, Antonio Brown is back in an NFL jersey, and he's officially joined the what has become the Tampa Bay All-Star team, and it is going to be quite the show.
So, real quick, my gripe about that is, like, I always thought that, like, when a guy was facing a suspension, even when, like, he was, like, in between teams like this, the teams weren't really picking him up because they knew that once they picked him up, that the league would then enforce the penalty that was waiting for this individual, and they would have to sit out so many games before they could actually play for that team that they signed with,
hmm
you know? So, but apparently it would appear that Antonio Brown has been serving his suspension already and is now ready to sign with the team because he's been serving his suspension. See, I always thought that teams weren't picking him up because they knew that they would have to wait at least 8 games before he could play for them.
Yeah, I get that, and I do understand where you're coming from. I think of it kind of as like time served in like jail and stuff, where we know and the world knows the reason teams weren't picking him up was because he was going to have to serve that. So that's the only reason why I'm okay with it. But I do feel like the NFL could have done a better job of voicing that, because that's just kind
Yeah,
of my thought
it
is,
almost seems like he just kinda like, you know, was we all punished him long enough and
yeah.
gets to come back now. It's like
I mean he had an he was, he was going to have an 8-game suspension, and he's been out of the league for over a year, right? Or
no, but that suspension wasn't determined until this summer, I believe. So
oh, okay. So
it
then
wouldn't have
that's
really came into effect until this season. So
So
I
then
think
he
that's
should have to sit out until week 9.
yeah. So, but that's why
Mm.
teams are interested in his services now because it's 2 or 3 weeks before that, and so you want to get him in the
Yeah.
building and in the discussions and all that stuff.
I
Now,
get your frustration with it. And I don't
I'm just frustrated
disagree.
with Antonio Brown. That's all.
Well, yeah, no, and that's I don't think he should be in the league.
Yeah,
Period. But
I don't.
I mean, Alden Smith ended up on a team somehow. That was news to me a few weeks
So did
ago.
Bruce Miller.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, so I
Yeah,
don't know, but I guess like I don't I do disagree with the fact that he is even in the
he
league.
made a pretty long list of guys who
Yeah.
whatever they've been involved in, if we're going down that road, shouldn't be in the league. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I just think that the NFL could have done a better job of explaining it because it does. And you had mentioned that in our fantasy chat, and I was just kind of like, oh yeah, he still does have that suspension. And then I just kind of thought it through, and I was like, well, I mean, if it is kind of like a time served thing, like we know the entire league hasn't been looking at him because of that, because that looming suspension. So I can respect the kind of time served because it is like a silent punishment in a sense.
Yeah.
But he still should not be able to play until week 9, and that might be the case. Like
No,
I
I
don't think
believe
we've
it. I believe it is the case.
so
At minimum.
yeah. So then I am okay with it. But they could have explained that, which they didn't. They never openly explained that. I don't at least that I ever saw.
Yeah, but
I know
I
how
mean,
you are with
speaking
it,
of,
so I'm assuming if it's news to you, then they never did explain it that way. So
yeah, I mean, the league never called me. They never told me
yeah,
about it. I was just like, I was waiting for a call. Yeah.
yeah. But I'll say, man, I'll say that of all teams for him to go to, this is like, I mean, Tampa Bay really does have the
But this
team
is
right
Brady
now.
again. Well, so okay, on the operational level, if like you're GM of the Bucks, you're looking at it like, okay, Evans has been banged up, Godwin's been banged up. We
Yeah,
just lost Cameron Brate. Like, even though they've got a ton of good names in the building, they may need a guy, and that's okay. And if they're willing to take on the personality, but here's what it is. It's Tom Brady and the gravitas that he has walking into Bruce Arians' office and being like, "Yep, we got AB. Why? I don't want that guy on my team.
yeah,
Trust me, coach. I got him.
yeah. Well,
I got
he's
him."
done it before. Like
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, I'm just saying the
when Antonio
influence
Brown
is
was on
there
the
from Tom Brady.
Patriots, when Antonio Brown was on the Patriots, he was the quietest he had ever been in his career. It's just the shit that happened outside beforehand caught up, and that's what
Well,
happened.
my thing is Bruce Arians looking to add Rob Gronkowski if Tom Brady's not there? No.
No, no,
It's the same thing. It's
no.
like he was already asked in,
I mean,
before camp even about Antonio Brown, the possibility. And he's like, no way, no way. Like his response was like, no, we're not going to go. We're not going to take a chance on a guy like that, blah, blah,
yeah,
blah. And then, I'm telling you, you got Brady walking in the office with his gravitas. I love that word. With his
you can tell.
gravitas. Yeah. And it's like, it's okay, coach. I got it. I'll take responsibility. I'm sure he's like, they're going to be roommates or whatever,
Hmm.
like he's going to make sure that, he flies a straight and narrow for however long it takes to win a championship. And because that's what Brady wants, dude. He wants to surround himself with the best possible threat to win a
Yeah.
championship. I don't blame him. It's like time's ticking.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing. And I'm a total Brady fanboy. I'm not ashamed of admitting that. The
I
dude
mean,
has done
who
it with
is it?
so many.
Who is
Yeah.
it?
Anyone that's lost to him, so half the league, over half the league. But
But they're all still fanboys of him, dude.
yeah,
I mean,
they just
like,
won't admit it out loud. But I think the thing with Brady is he's proven that he can do that and handle those receivers time and time again. I mean, Moss is the all-time freaking showboater, and he had his greatest season in his career with Tom Brady when he was after he came.
He knows how to create one-on-one relationships with people.
Yeah.
That's
And
what
I
it
think
is.
that's why, in my opinion, Tom Brady is the true GOAT, is because he not only is amazing on the field, but he can work with literally anybody.
And he knows how to get the best out of any.
I mean, Moss
he got
came.
the best out of Chris Hogan. Like, where's Chris Hogan today?
I
Nowhere.
couldn't tell me. I know he's on a team, but I wouldn't know
What
where.
did Wes Welker do in Denver? Nothing.
Yeah.
Think about it. Like, he knows how to get the best. I mean, is Julian Edelman having a good year? Nah, not really. You know what I mean? Like, would Julian Edelman be Julian Edelman if he was picked up by any other team? Probably not.
Yeah.
He'd probably be Cole Beasley. I'm just saying.
No, it's a fact. and that's why he is what he is. And that's why this team has just become the scariest team in the NFL, in my opinion. I mean, they're
Mhm.
already doing great. They had the bumpy start, but we also didn't have a preseason. They're clicking now. They're destroying, and they just added one of the most lethal wide receivers in the game. If he's kept it up, which I'm sure Antonio Brown has. He's one of those like freak workout guys, I guess. So
I mean, assuming, like, he can keep his feet warm and he can find his helmet, we're gonna have I mean, he can play football. Let's
yeah,
see. Let's see
yeah.
what happens, bro.
Oh, that was good, Dan. Oh man, yeah. I'm eager. As much as I'm not a fan or supporter of Antonio Brown, I think he's a real big piece of shit. I want to see the craziness that this team is about to be
Yeah.
because it's fun. It's entertaining.
But, I mean, speaking of game-changing wide receivers who are coming back to the NFL, there's another one that's out there lurking in the weeds who
Yeah.
is destined to make his return, and I think he's gonna be teaming up with a pretty devastating combo who doesn't really have a weapon like this in his arsenal, and it's gonna be pretty amazing to see. So Des Bryant is flirting with the Baltimore Ravens, signing with their
Hmm.
practice squad. It's practically a done deal from what I've been seeing. It's anything but a done deal at this point. But, um, yeah, dude, I mean, going to the practice squad, it's only a matter of time before I think he'll actually work his way onto the active roster. Probably once they see that he's actually is indeed in game shape and can contribute and is ready to go, learn the playbook, all that good stuff. But there's definitely interest there, mutual interest, and that's going to be something to keep your eye on, man.
Yeah. It was funny. We had talked about this because when that news broke, I instantly went to my fantasy team because I was going to try to pick him up, and he wasn't even there. He's there now, which is interesting to me. And I was curious how they were going to do that because it was going to be they dropped him and then first come first serve, but he's on like he has a waiver. Um,
Yeah, because he just got picked up. He just got added.
yeah.
So
So
yeah,
so
interesting.
who? I just
That's
want
how
to
you
hear.
know
I
he's
want to hear you
like,
say it. Who has the number one waiver wire pick in our league right now?
you do.
Your boy.
Who's that who you're going? Because you need another receiver, right?
No, I don't. I have too many receivers, but
Yeah,
I
you have the
enjoy.
entire Atlanta Falcons on your team.
Hey, which to be honest, for the first time in literally freaking fantasy football history, is not a bad thing. Those dudes get fucking points every single week, like no other. When they're healthy, of course, but when they
No,
play
yeah,
when they play side by side, they're both wide receiver ones. It's insane.
I know it's
It's like
crazy,
it's
man.
been hard. I've been flirting with trading one of them, and then they have these games, and I'm like, I'm just gonna keep them both. Like
Yeah, why not?
it's just so weird because you're like trained for those that are listening and play fantasy football. I'm sure you all can agree with this. You're kind of like trained like it's a bad idea to have like multiple receivers on the same team because whenever the ball's getting thrown to one, it's taken away from the other.
Yeah, it's
But
not on.
at the end of the game, when both your receivers have 20 plus fantasy points, it's kind of hard to be like, oh, I want to get rid of one of these guys.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah. I
I'm
mean,
just gonna
hopefully,
pick him up because I got a freaking Emmanuel Sanders on the COVID list, which is a
well,
useless guy anyways.
if anything, it'll be you could use it as a trade chip. You
Yeah,
know,
that's the only reason when I want to pick him up is just to enter. You never know, like
I think I
the
know somebody who might go after that. I'm just saying, somebody who trades a lot in this league.
oh
You
yeah,
know?
yeah, and that's part of the reason why I want to do it is it's good trade bait. And the other thing is Des Bryant has always been one of those players that plays with that chip on his shoulder. So if he comes back, he's going to want to be like, I need to prove
Yeah,
everybody wrong. And if it does actually work with the Ravens, that's a freaking money position for him to be in, where he's
for
going to be a
sure.
prime receiver again.
Dude,
Most
they
likely
have
he'll at least,
decent receivers, but they don't have anybody of his size.
yeah. So
Like Hollywood Brown, who's Antonio Brown's, I think, cousin. Um, I mean, he's not very big. He's like Antonio Brown. He's not like a big guy. I think he's like 6 foot, 6'1",
yeah,
which is, pretty average for a wide receiver. Whereas Des Bryant, I think, is 6'5". He's a big dude. He's a red zone target.
yeah,
So,
yeah. So I'm just going to play around and see what happens.
but I got a question to ask you for the NFL. So, obviously, the Niners are playing Patriots this week.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a lot of Niner talk, Patriot talk, Bill Belichick talk, Jimmy Garoppolo talk, Niner talk.
Hmm.
Uh, one interesting theory that was floated out this week, and it was by I forget the guy's name, but he was a radio host in New England, and he used to play for the Patriots as a tight end or a fullback or something like that. Um, and he said today on the show that he predicts that Jimmy Garoppolo is wearing a Patriots uniform next season.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I started thinking about it, and I'm like, damn, you know what? A, that's very possible, and B, I don't know if that's the worst thing in the world
I
for
mean, off
either
the
team.
top of my head, all the thoughts that are going through my head, I mean, it lines up. Newton's a rental.
Newton's a
We're
rental.
not exactly, as a fan base at least, sold on Jimmy G.
I think the fan base is as mixed on Jimmy G as they are on Biden and Trump.
Yeah.
Um,
No,
and
that's a great example. Yeah.
it's
I bounce
because it's
back
like
and forth all the
I
time.
think you can, and I have like, and I'm not doing this because I'm a fanboy, but like I've made a case for Jimmy just based on the statistics alone. Like
Yeah.
his statistics are very, very good. But when you look at the eye test, what you see on every Sunday isn't always that good. A lot of his statistic has to do with being in the Shanahan system,
Yeah.
and specifically the wins and losses and the defense that he's had last year. But nonetheless, like QB rating, completion percentage, those things are on Jimmy, and
Yeah.
those things have been very well, um, up until this season. This season has been a little shaky, but it's not necessarily Jimmy's fault. There's been a lot of injuries to go around that contribute for a lot of things. He's had his own injuries. He's tried to play with injuries. So
Yeah.
it's like you got to give the guy a little bit of a break. It's like not everyone's gonna be, freaking flawless every
Yeah.
Sunday, and
I
there's
get that.
circumstantial things that play into account. But I also think, but because there's so much local bias one way or the other on Jimmy, and we have an easy ripcord at the end of the season, we wouldn't have been able to do this last year, but we could. Essentially, they can just let him go, and Belichick can sign him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or because I think what would really take Kyle Shanahan's playbook to the next level is if he had the mobile quarterback like Kyler Murray or Lamar Jackson or even Cam Newton or Russell Wilson or anybody that was like that. So I think that I would really, 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 really think that whether Jimmy's with this team or not, that they draft a quarterback next year. It could be in the 3rd round, could be in the 5th round, but that quarterback's going to be known to be a little bit mobile,
Yeah.
and it largely is going to be received as potentially the future of the franchise.
Yeah.
And that's not to say if something else happens, that they make a move or do something and they find themselves higher up in the draft picking, a 1st round quarterback that
Yeah.
will tell you all you need to know about where they're headed. I
Yeah.
really think that a quarterback in the draft or free agency is in the Niners' future. I really do. And I don't really see it coming in the free agency, to be honest.
Well, it's
So
hard. It's hard when there always seems to be lately a decent quarterback in the draft that saves you so much money than you would in the free agency or trading for one. And I wouldn't be opposed to that. Like, I know sometimes I come off as this Jimmy G hater, and it's not true. I think the guy is good. I think I'm just to that point where I'm just tired, man. Like, we haven't had that Joe Montana or Steve Young guy since Joe Montana or Steve Young. Like, we haven't had a Tom Brady. Alex Smith, I give a lot of credit because he really truly, and I think everyone can agree with me that he really got screwed when he was a Niner. He just never had the opportunity. I tell this story a lot, and I know I've told you this, but I haven't said it on here yet, where I sat in a room with, I think it was like 8 or 9 of my close buddies that draft, and I said, we should pick Rodgers. And they
Oh, yeah,
all,
for sure.
and they all of them laughed at me. Who's laughing now? But the reality is, if the roles are reversed, I think it would be the same thing. I think Alex Smith would be the Rodgers that is the Rodgers today, and Rodgers would be the Alex Smith that is the Alex Smith of today.
Yeah, because Alex Smith would have landed somewhere where he could have been the apprentice.
Yeah, He would have sat
and
behind Favre
yeah,
and would have been, had a coach and a
yeah.
coaching staff that kind of was around for a while. And Rodgers would have been the one getting tossed from coach to coach, offensive coordinator. I
Yeah, I
just
mean, you
feel
could
like he
really make a
never
case
got.
that Aaron Rodgers benefited from his situation rather than he was just a better quarterback,
Yeah,
and the evidence is what it is,
yeah,
you know?
and we're not saying this taken away from Rodgers. Rodgers is a phenomenal quarterback. He is a Hall of Fame quarterback, but
Yeah, but
a
it's hard to
lot
tell
of it is
what would have been, you
because
know?
he had a prime place that he landed. And even if the stories are true where Brett Favre didn't help him very much, he didn't have to talk and be best friends. Just sitting on the bench watching him was
Right,
enough
right.
for
Just listening to him talk to the
yeah, like
coach in your
yeah,
meetings and whatnot,
yeah.
it's like, that's all you need to
Smith
know. You just wanna know how Brett Favre thinks.
Yeah, Smith never had that. Never had that level of senior quarterback to learn
But
from.
speaking of Brett Favre, did you ever watch, on ESPN Plus, like, the Peyton's Places thing?
No.
Like, where Manning did that thing? So, it's actually a really good show, really good. And he did one with Brett Favre, and this is one of the things I love. As much as, like, you hate Brett Favre because 'cause you're a Niner fan and he always played
Yeah.
the Packers, like, Brett Favre is, like, one of the only, like, opposing team players that you actually love,
Yeah.
because he's Brett Favre and he's a Hall of Famer and he's, so well respected. It's the same way, like, I'll hold Russell Wilson in that regard when
Yeah.
he retired being a Niner fan. But but this is why you love Brett Favre. He's just one of the guys you wanna go have a beer with so bad. It's because, like, the way he talks to Peyton Manning, it's like, he'll talk about being in meetings or being at practice or being all this kinda shit or even in the game, and it's just like, the guy was never a student of the game, and he'll even say it. He's like, "My first, like, 3 years of the game, like, I didn't even study defenses, like, I didn't." He's like, "I didn't even do any of that stuff." He's like, "I just played the game." Like, I just,
Yeah.
I would just, like, drop back and see what was available, you know? It's like it's like where it's all down to this, like, minute science nowadays where it's like you gotta know everything before you get in there, and it's
Yeah.
just like he was just like pure let's play ball, you know?
Mhm.
Like it was crazy.
That's funny.
So
Good
anyway,
old
go back.
Favre. Yeah, Favre is a bro. Total
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, so it could be interesting the way the
yeah.
quarterback situation plays itself out, and I mean, it's obviously everything's gonna be predicated on what happens over the next 10 games because, if we get if we get Jimmy G a lot like what we've seen in the last, like, 4 games that he's played this year, there's a good chance that maybe they move on.
Yeah, especially
But
the
if
last two have been dog shit. Like Miami was an embarrassment. Last week he came out on fire, but then
yeah,
and I don't think anyone talked about this really because we ended up winning. But after the first half, nothing. The second half, I don't even think we scored again.
but
It
the
didn't
other thing
matter
is,
because we
like,
won. But
his performance was overshadowed by the win, and the other thing that gets me is that, like, that little, like, jet sweep that they hand off or pitch to Deebo Samuel or any of these guys crossing by, that is considered a
I know
reception,
that's
and
such
Deebo
bullshit.
Samuel got a receiving touchdown, which
Yeah,
meant Jimmy Garoppolo got a passing touchdown on that,
yeah, that is
which
such bullshit.
which if I was working for Yahoo Fantasy, first of all, I would not score that as a pass, I would score that as a rush, because, number 1, the receiver received the ball in the backfield, clearly in the backfield
Yeah,
between the tackles. Okay, number 1. Number 2, that was a designed play for that person to get the ball within milliseconds of it being snapped.
yeah,
And the linemen are not going to take a single step backwards as if they were to pass block. They're going to begin run blocking
yeah,
immediately. Okay, and and the quarterback, it was already like predetermined that like I'm just gonna do this and this real quick. So I don't have to read the defense. I don't have to look at where the safeties are going. I don't have to do anything to like make a play. So that's not technically a pass in my book,
yeah. No, I
you
agree
know?
100%. It's one of the biggest freaking dumb things in football.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's interesting. And I and
I
I
I mean,
I
it's
honestly think it's
exaggerated.
pretty
Yeah,
it'll probably be changed over time.
yeah.
It'll
I mean,
probably be it'll probably be scored differently over time.
yeah,
It's just
and
they
it's
haven't caught on
exaggerated
yet.
to us. It's exaggerated to us because we play fantasy football, and that's why
Yeah.
it's like such an eyesore for us because it is 100% a run, and you're giving free fantasy points to a quarterback that shouldn't have them.
Yeah,
And
and I wonder if they're scoring it that way just because they know how much the fantasy game is involved in their product, you know?
yeah, yeah, maybe that would be kind of interesting if that was true. But
So,
yeah,
but yeah, I mean, it certainly is interesting, but I mean, but then again, it's like I said, so it comes down to how Jimmy plays the next 10 games. If we get, somewhat mediocre play like we've got so far this year, the Niners could really go either way, and I think fans would understand either way, whether they keep him or let him go. The other thing is if he balls out and we get back to the playoffs and we win a couple games, even get to the conference championship, maybe lose and don't get to the Super Bowl, and Jimmy's done well, and he's playing like he played in the New Orleans game last year, then you're having a different conversation, and you're definitely going to hang on to the guy,
yeah,
you know. But if things aren't going so well and it's purely quarterback play driven, well, then it makes the conversation a lot easier on the other side as well. So it's like a lot of it is predicated on what happens, but it's going to be a really difficult decision because if it's anything like we've seen this last game against the Rams,
hmm
it's really hard to evaluate his quarterback play in this system because the system is such where I feel like you don't have to be spectacular to do all the things correctly. You just need to go out and actually execute.
yeah, yeah,
Because Kyle puts everyone in position to do exactly what he wants them to do to where you don't have to think about it that much, you know?
yeah.
So,
Hey, I got a quick question for you. I know Lynch got extended. Shanahan got the extension too, right? Okay, I
yeah.
forgot that. Is it are they same? Are they aligned still?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they
Just
were
5-year
re-upped this year
extensions?
for another 5 years,
Okay, that's
but
what I
they
thought.
originally signed 5-year deals
6-year
and
deals.
6-year deals, sorry,
Yeah.
and then after the 3rd year, they basically signed 5-year deals.
So
So
is it
it's
5
like 2
years?
more years on from the 6th
Oh,
from
okay.
where
So it's not an extension. It's like
it's like 5 years from now.
it's okay. So it's like a
It's like a new
reworked deal
contract.
where they added additional. Okay. I'm pretty. Oh, I want to move on from football. I just want to say, I like them. I'm happy
Oh, I
with
love
them. I
that.
mean, yeah, some of their drafts have been bust, but no one has the perfect draft every time. But
No, but they're
I
old
like the
school.
team they've built. Yeah, I like the team they've built. I really like the personnel. I like that they really stick to the personalities. You know, like certain
Yeah.
personality and thing, and it shows. I mean, the team is phenomenal. We just this year is 100%
I
issues
mean,
are
they show
injuries.
class in every sense of the way. I mean,
Yeah,
what it is they definitely operate on a clear set of standards and
yeah,
morals and principles, and those are wildly known throughout the organization, um, because they look for certain characteristics in the guys that they choose to do business with.
hmm
And that's why guys like Antonio Brown don't even get calls from the Niners even
yeah,
when they're on the market. Things like that. That's why they're so quick to move on from guys that are amazing athletes like Reuben Foster
yep,
and stuff like that. So the Niners realize that, and I think that they realize this a lot too, that they will take the mind what somebody has up here over the athleticism
yeah,
because they understand that the athleticism is great, but the game is won from up here.
yeah,
And it's like if I can get through to you up here and we can coach you and we can talk to you and you understand us and we understand you, then we're going to find ways to be successful together
yeah,
because we can motivate you to get the athleticism you may be lacking out of the intelligence that you have inside of that football mind of yours.
hmm
But if you're just somebody that relies on your athleticism and not your intelligence, well, then I'm only playing with half a deck, and that's not how I play football. And I
yeah,
think that's what Kyle Shanahan thinks,
uh,
you know?
yeah, uh,
So, and I think John Lynch is right there with him, and I think they both balance each other out very well because
yeah. I
Kyle
think they
comes from
work.
the offensive
It
side.
looks like they work well. Like they're on the same page.
Well, yeah, I mean, John Lynch is a Hall of Fame safety. So he comes from the defensive side of the ball, and that sort of thing. So he has a lot of that mind, and I think Kyle Shanahan with his offensive mind, and I think they complement each other very well too.
Yeah,
You know, and I think that they're a really good pairing. Really,
Yeah.
really are, you
I
know?
think, I mean, it also helps that you don't have a bulky on there that's going, hey,
Yeah,
Rappaport. Hey, Rappaport, check this out, dude.
yeah.
You want some deets? You want the deets, man?
I know, it's
Oh,
ridiculous.
such a joke, dude. What an embarrassment it was, dude.
It is, still is. I
Yeah.
mean,
I mean, I stick to this. I feel like we lost one of the greatest coaches of all time
we did.
to gossip because of
Yeah,
gossip.
yeah,
Harbaugh was very unique, but the guy was a freaking mastermind coach. And I think he could have had one of the greatest coaching careers in the NFL. And I think that Bulky single handedly ruined that for him.
yeah.
So, but that's a topic for another day, I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't know if we wanna go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, that's a
We could
dark
be
one, I'm
here a
sure.
while.
Yeah. So random questions?
Yeah, let's do it, man. My favorite segment.
I know. You really love this. It's funny. It's a great one though. It's
It
really
is,
good.
man. I just you peel back the layers of the onion just a little bit further each time, you know?
Yeah. Who's going first?
Sorry, muted myself.
Oh, you're good.
Alright, you go first, bro. What do we got this week?
All right. I got a good one here.
Okay.
Especially for us. This is the time we met.
Alright.
What was your fondest memory of high school?
My fondest memory of high school.
I got
I don't
mine
know.
if you want to think about it.
Probably walking away on graduation day. No, I'm just kidding.
I didn't. You're kidding, but are you really?
No, I've had a few,
That's a hard
but,
one because we
no,
had some
let's
good
hear
ones.
yours first. Let's hear yours first. Go
So
for it.
I'm gonna go kind of more chill mode. There's just so many. Like I had a lot of fun in high school. I mean, I didn't really go to high school for school. I went for having fun with the guys. Um, my fondest memory was probably a wood shop. I really, and not like the 80s like wood shop making paddles and things like that. I just really learned a lot in wood shop. I learned a lot about myself and what I like to do. Wood shop is the spot where I really realized how much I love working with my hands and stuff. Uh, Coach Guerrero was the wood shop teacher, which was such an awesome guy. Just a great teacher. And he used to always say this thing that I just always remember him for one saying that during the time I took it to heart so much. And now I often look back and I wonder if he really meant it or if he meant it in the sense for us to just make sure that we were really enjoying it. He used to always say, "This is the best 4 years of your life," all the time. And to me personally, it couldn't be any more wrong. High school for me was stressful. The peer pressure of being cool, the trying to fit in. I didn't really know who or what I was and trying to figure out that like I did some dumb things that I regret to this day. It was probably for the stupidest years of my life. And I just always wonder, and I wish he was alive for me to find him and ask him. I just wonder if he knew that, if he knew it was not the best 4 years of your life, and it was just his way to make sure that we were trying to make the best of it. Because he was a smart guy. I feel like that's what he was trying to do. Just something I've always questioned, but he just really taught me a lot,
Yeah.
and I still have some things to this day that I use that I made in his woodshop class. I have my little table that is upstairs that we use next to the rocking chair for when we're rocking Jack to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sent you a picture the other day. I found my little jewelry box. That was like one of the first projects we made in woodshop. I just have it stashed in my closet here now. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it was just a good, just a really like you learn more than just. He was really good at not teaching you about wood, but really preparing you for life in many ways. He was really good at that.
Yeah, he's very metaphorical about a lot of things that he did,
Yeah,
man. Yeah, he was
yeah,
cool. He was cool.
yeah. So I think that's my fondest memory.
I think, my fondest memory of high school, it's a little sappy, but, um, I don't know, it was a pretty cool night just all around, like, the way that it went, so, uh, probably my senior year, the last football game that we ever played, um, and it was just that time where it's like, you've given so much to this game, like, over the amount of years that you play, and for me, it's like, I wasn't going on to play this at the collegiate level or doing
Yeah.
anything like this, so this was, like, my last game, you
Yeah.
know? And and I kinda knew it, and it's like, of course, it ends in a loss in the
Yeah.
playoffs, and so but the cool thing is that it was at home, and so we had more people around than probably would have been there if it was a road game. Like, if it was a road game, for sure, your family would have been there and, probably some friends and whatnot, but, like, you know how big, like, the games would get at our school, like, the amount of people that were
Yeah.
there and stuff, so like it's just one of those it was one of the like, because it didn't feel this way, like, my last soccer game or my last track meet or anything like that, it didn't nothing even close. But, like, the last football game, man, it's like, when we broke the huddle, like, at the end, like, there were a lot of guys in tears, like, because we knew it was, like, our last game and, like, we didn't wanna go out like that, like, you just put so much into it, and, like, for me, it's like, I was kinda, like, sad, somber, but, like, as I'm walking over to, like, the track, like, my parents come off the stands and everything, and I could see my dad, and, like, the minute we make eye contact, like, we both just started, like, bawling, you know?
Yeah.
It was just, like, so surreal, and, like, it was just kinda like, we didn't even say anything, we just gave a hug, and it's just, like it was just one of those moments, and it's, like, you just feel like, he was, like, really proud of me and, like, it was just really cool, and, like, it just made you feel like, "Okay, we just closed a chapter in the book, like, here we
Yeah.
are getting older," and
Yeah.
and this is part of senior year, it's as we're gonna go through this, and this is what we're gonna look back on, and it's like, to this day, like, that night, like, it's very, very vivid, like, in my
Yeah.
memory and, like, everything about it, and scored a touchdown that night, like, there's a lot of things to remember about that, and I remember even after we went back to the locker room and, like, got changed and stuff, a bunch of guys went back out to the field and, like, just sat there and just hung out, like, they turned the lights off, we were still out there, like, it was just kinda it was trippy, but, I mean, it was definitely one of the better memories to look back on even though we
Yeah.
lost.
I mean, you also had a team you played and we went to school during a time where that team was really good, man. Like we had undefeated seasons and
Oh, yeah.
it was
Yeah.
you played on a pretty damn good team. So that probably helps a lot.
Yeah,
That's a
we
good
only
one
lost
though.
4 games in 4 years, and 3 of them were season-ending losses in the playoffs,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah, that's pretty good. I don't know.
yeah.
Is football still as big now? Because I know you live right there. Is football still as big now as it was when we went? Because it was crazy when I feel like it was just
Big, but, I feel like Terranova hasn't been as dominant since Coach Gray left, you know?
yeah.
I mean, they've still won some games
Ah,
and
dude, that
been
fucking Coach Gray,
competitive,
man.
but yeah, it's something different that he brought to the table that
Yeah,
just, like, nothing
he was.
you could ever compare.
Yeah, he was a challenging person to get along with,
Oh, yeah.
but man, was he a brilliant coach. I can admit
I
that.
mean, yeah, he was just a smart dude all around,
Yeah.
he knew what was up.
Yeah.
Like, he had 6 months of our lives, like itineraried by the 15-minute mark.
Yeah.
Swear to God.
No,
Like, he'd give
and
you a packet this thick in April, and it lasted you to the last game of the season, and it told you what you're gonna do every 15 minutes of every day,
yeah,
you
crazy.
know?
Yeah, he was definitely a smart one.
Yeah. Alright, man, you ready for my question?
No, but we'll see.
Alright. This should be fun and spark heavy debate. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Why or why not?
Oof. Damn, I don't know, bro. No, it's not a sandwich. It's in the category of a burger.
Really?
Yeah. Sandwich is sliced meat. Outside of
Is
the
it
well, no,
pizza?
that doesn't count because then you got like those weirdos that eat
How
tuna
many expressions
sandwiches.
have you made where, "Oh, this is sandwiched in between this and this." So is
So
that only for sliced
is a
meat?
burger a sandwich? I mean, I guess technically, I mean, if you want to get technical, yes, okay. If it's a substance between two pieces of bread than
Substance.
than it is than, than it
Well, yeah,
is
that
a
applies to peanut
sandwich.
butter and jelly, and that's not sliced meat, and that's
Yeah.
still considered a sandwich,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. All right. All right.
And my answer is yes too, and I mean, I kinda just feel like a sandwich is a way to where you have, you know, this on one side and the same thing on the other, and you put whatever the hell you want in between, and you go for it, you know? Because I mean, how many times has a hot dog bun, like, that spot where it's supposed to be, like, tied together,
Mhm.
breaks on you, so now you literally do have nothing but 2 independent pieces of raised yeast bread that, becomes a sandwich in any shape of the
I
form,
know, I get that, but the thing that makes me want to say no is because you need a certain type of bread for it. I mean, I know you like.
Not necessarily, bro, it's only called a hot dog because of you're naming the meat in
I
between it,
know, I know. I don't like
you
this
know?
question. This is not a fair
Have
question.
you ever had a tri-tip sandwich on a hot dog bun?
No,
Bro, you've never had, like the little hoagie hot dog bun with a
I'm
tri-tip
just
sandwich
trying to
on
be
it?
the negative one here, and I'm not doing a good job at it. Okay, I guess it's a sandwich. That's a stupid question. I don't like that
My
question.
thing is, like, if you're using bread, meat,
Just
whatever kinda spreads for your breads, and then you're gonna throw, like, some onions or sauerkraut or whatever, that's a sandwich, bro.
I know, I know. I feel like, would you go if you were gonna make a burger? Would you buy like? See, it doesn't really work for. Well, I
First
guess
of all,
burger
another thing
falls
is,
in that
like,
same
I
category.
go to a sandwich
Like you need
place
a certain type
at
of
work
bread
to get
for
a
it.
sandwich, and they
Like,
also sell hot dogs and sausages and all that kind of stuff, and they're a sandwich deli.
mhm.
They don't sell burgers.
I know, but that's the thing is like, are you gonna go to the store? I'm really trying hard to not have this be a yes. Are you gonna go to the store and buy deli meats and hot dog buns?
I
No.
can,
But are you going to? No.
if they ran out of my favorite bread.
I don't believe you. I feel like you would try a different type of bread before you'd go to the hot dog bun. Like the hot dog bun is like you're at home and you ran out of
Yeah,
bread and you've got sliced meat and you're like, fuck, I guess
yeah,
I'll use the
no big
hot
deal.
dog bun,
No big deal. Yeah, no big
Like
deal.
and but it's you're not gonna deliberately buy it that way.
But the same thing, dude, if I run out of hot dog buns at home and I'm cooking hot dogs and all I got is sliced bread, like, I'm gonna do the same thing.
See, like I'm the type of person where I'm like, I need to find something else to cook because sliced bread and a hot dog is just it's horrible. The sliced bread gets all mushy. Like I'm gonna find an alternative. Like I'll go peanut butter and jelly before I do that. Like, I
Oh,
just hate it.
jeez.
It doesn't work, man. That's why I
Yeah.
feel like it. It is a sandwich. I'm gonna admit, yes, it's a sandwich, but I feel like it's like the black sheep of the sandwich
Of the sandwich
category.
family.
Yeah. Because like
I think
even
it's
like
a sandwich.
but like a cheeseburger, a hamburger is the same thing. Like a hamburger on sliced white bread is terrible because all the juices and everything just the bread turns all soggy and nasty. Like hamburger buns and hot dog buns are made extra dense for a reason that you don't get in normal sliced bread or even like sourdough rolls or something like that. Like hot or burgers actually kind of go good on like sourdough. But are you gonna
But
wait?
it
Are
has
you
to
gonna
be, like,
waste
toasted
sourdough
right and all
bread
that.
on a hot dog? Like
I don't
no,
know, man.
no.
I'm sure there's some place in San Francisco that makes that.
Yeah, I'm sure, dude. You know what I realized up here that was like heartbreaking when I moved, bro? These
But
motherfuckers up here in Portland do not eat pastrami.
what?
Like I went to a Subway. I was like, "Can I get a
Dude,
pastrami sandwich?" And they were like, "We don't have pastrami. What's wrong with you, guy?" And I was like,
what?
"Excuse me." Like, they don't have it's like you can find it in certain places, but like it's like like all Subways don't have pastrami.
What?
And
That's
and and
crazy.
oth- and a lot of delis don't. Like you have to go to like
I
a
have not been
specialty
to a
deli.
Subway that doesn't have pastrami.
Dude, it's the same with Dutch Crunch. Like there's like two places I found that have Dutch Crunch. I'm like, what's wrong with you people up here,
I mean, you did move, like, 600 miles away, it's like a different world, bro.
dude? I like, and I'm fine saying you people because you people in Portland are weird that you don't eat
Do they
pastrami
still
and
make
Dutch
sourdough
Crunch.
bread up there too?
What?
Do they still make sourdough bread up there?
Yeah, sourdough they make. Oh,
That's good. That's good.
But it's just
Yeah,
like,
basically
dude,
any
I'm
movie
learning.
with like Tommy is like amazing. You know?
Yeah, I'm just learning as I live up here longer how far behind the times this place is. Okay.
You know, but they might, you know, maybe they're ahead of the times. Maybe you know, maybe you look at it through a
How
different lens.
dare you say that? No, pastrami is the times. Okay.
Yeah, you can't get away from pastrami. I don't care how healthy you're trying to get.
No, I mean, yeah, pastrami is pastrami. Good pastrami, dude, is like the meat, man. It
Yeah,
really is. It's like
it's
the ghost. I
legit.
haven't had a legit pastrami sandwich since I lived in San Francisco, and I've been having a hard time, dude. I'm getting homesick strictly because of Mexican food.
Ooh,
Like I ordered a burrito last night. Oh, I got a rant before we. I got another rant. Like, can we end with one more rant?
yeah, go for it.
Yo, DoorDash, you suck, dudes. You guys suck. I am so tired of. Or I ordered a burrito last night through DoorDash. First off, the taqueria I got sucked. Second, simple directions. You literally have a check. It's not like you have to add the little type it in the little notes section in the bottom. No tomatoes or onions. You literally have a section that says no, and you check off what you don't want. I checked off no tomatoes. I checked off no onions. I ordered a wet burrito. It came with tomatoes. It came with onions, and it literally looked like it was delivered via tornado. Like I can't even express to you. Like I open the bag, and there's just fucking sauce everywhere to the point where I open the box. The burrito is almost bone dry because all the sauce is everywhere else. It's like, I'm done with DoorDash, dude. Like you guys are freaking, and this happens to me all the time.
Well, because they picked up your order and 17 other people's.
Yeah, like I can't believe it, dude. Like fucking DoorDash, man. Ugh. $50 worth of food, and I complain that, oh, here's your $12 credit. Well, I still had to eat a burrito with freaking tomatoes and onions in it.
I know, man.
Sorry, I
You
just had to
probably
get that off
farting
my
all day
chest.
today.
That was pretty nasty.
I had to, you know, just to
miss good
just to throw it in your face. I had some Guerreros the other day.
I'm out. I'm out. I'm done. Can we end this? I'm done with you, bro. God damn it. I miss. You know what's funny is Guerrero's is just like a mediocre Mexican place. Like it's good. It's not bad, but it wasn't like El Super Burrito or something, you know?
Like,
but dude, up here, I'm like, literally, I was looking at this burrito last night. And I can't believe I'm gonna admit this. I took a bite and I just looked at Jen and I was just like almost in tears, dude. I was just so hungry. I just wanted a damn burrito. I looked at Jen. I was like, I miss Guerrero so much. And she was just like, I'm sorry, babe. It's like she knows. It's like pain. It's becoming like really painful to me, man. It's like the Mexican food up here is fucking horrible, dude.
Mexican food is like one of my favorite things. Like,
dude,
I look forward to it.
It's like I swear to God,
at least once a week.
I swear to God, I was a cartel member in a past life. Like I cannot live without Mexican food in my life, dude. And it's so bad up here. It's like I feel like I moved so far away from the border that the Mexicans are like, nah, it's cool. The Canadians can come down and figure it out. And I'm just eating fucking Canadians that are trying to understand what Mexican food is. Like, it's just so bad. It's so bad.
I mean, we were us like in our teenage years when we would like go party or whatever. Like, our night would either start at Guerrero's, like that's what we'd get for dinner, and then go do what we were gonna do.
Yeah.
Or we'd do what we're gonna do, and then like we'd crash at your house, and the next morning we'd go to Guerrero's for breakfast.
Yeah,
like it would be one of the
dude. It was like how you did your weekend.
Yeah,
burrito and beers, man.
Yeah, the only way to function.
Up here, just I don't know. I gotta figure it out. I honestly, I was talking to Jen. I was like, I'm not kidding. I think we could open a taqueria and it would be the best thing ever. We would just get so much shit for being two white ass people running a taqueria.
Yeah, you have to hire some personnel to fit the bill.
I know. It just sucks, dude.
But you wouldn't even have to like research anything. You'd just be like, oh, this is based off experience.
No, seriously. Dude, I'm not kidding you, bro. We have like burrito night here where like I'll cook some skirt steak or something, and then leftover I cut it up the next day and I use it for burritos. And it's like dude, I'm not even kidding you, bro. This is how bad it is, okay? I use like the Rosarito refried beans, canned refried beans. Okay. The meat, some like Tillamook 4 cheese Mexican mixed cheese.
Right.
And fucking Mexican rice-a-roni. And this shit comes out better than any taqueria up here.
Oh, I know.
Like I can't wrap my head around it, dude.
Like, you'd be up there opening a taqueria and, like, you know, the chips and salsa, like, you give out, like, people would be like, "Oh my god, what is this?" I mean, you'd be like, "It's fucking Tapatio," you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, like it's not hard, man. Like I think I've said this on here before, but I'll end with this. Like there was one taqueria here that I was like, I really actually liked it. And I was like, this is good, but there's something about it that's too familiar. And I can't put my mind around it, but I don't like it. It's not right. The insides are all right. Like nothing spectacular, but I could get by with this, dude. Dude, one day I'm starting to walk out of the store and I look over and I happen to catch behind the counter and it's just bags of fucking Mission tortillas. And I'm like,
Uh,
fuck, that's it, dude. That's what it is. It's these shit ass Mission tortillas. They don't even use real tortillas.
yep.
And I just was like, it just ruined it.
Can't
I
do
haven't
it.
gone back since.
Can't do it.
Yeah. Mission tortillas is like the emergency. I need to make a fucking quesadilla to feed these kids before they starve to death.
But that's, like,
That's
only if that's all Safeway has.
Yeah, like I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, we usually buy. They've got like these off brands that are pretty good, but
La Tortilla Factory.
yeah,
That's where it's at.
yeah,
Alright, man, that's a wrap.
yeah. Sorry, I ranted a lot tonight. This is my life, dude. I'm an old grumpy
Dude, it's
man. Dude,
Friday.
when I'm 70, bro, I'm gonna be a handful to people.
It's Friday and you've only had 1 beer. You probably haven't even finished that beer.
No,
That's
I'm not
why.
finishing this nasty shit, dude. It's
Yeah,
terrible.
that's exactly it, 'cause you can't finish it. You need to actually get another one.
Great Notion. I'm officially disappointed. I'm just kidding. I love you guys. Don't hate me. It's just not. It's a good beer. This is what it is. It's a good beer. It's just not a beer for me. Just not a beer for me. Reno's fuck. All right,
Alright, man.
I'm gonna go to
Take
sleep.
us out.
Guys, thank you for watching or listening. Like, subscribe, give us some comments, and we'll see you in the next one. We out.
Yeah.
Peace.